Hello and welcome to another Lord of the Rings Rise to War video. Today I'll be talking about a particular battle, so it'll be quite brief and a short video between my Dain, as you can see there, and a particular Dwalin. The general consensus is that Dwalin beats Dain due to speed. In this particular report, as you can see, that hasn't happened, so I was just going to run through it as it's a pretty good battle, to be fair. So I'll just show you the gear of both. This is my Dain, so he is Respect 14. He has Lethal Weapon on the Hammer of Moria. He has Tactical Maneuvers on his Drawing Plate. He's got the unique item Dain, which I actually think is brilliant, and I will be trying to upgrade a couple of stars on it to get to that 30% damage mark, so it's a bit like the previous double rise up to a degree. I do see a big difference in it if you single stack it in particular, but generally you will get the 10% damage roughly by round 3 just in time for Whirlwind, so it's pretty perfect for that. As for my Erebors Pride, it has Might of Dwarves. I would like it to have Arid Lewin formation, but unfortunately I haven't had that sub-skill drop yet. The build I currently use is like so. I use Ironfoot. I will try and increase that. If I'm against, say, a Grimmer, for example, I would perhaps drop Whirlwind. And even if it's a single stack Dwalin, to be fair, I would probably drop Whirlwind and look to increase points into Ironfoot, Vengeance, and possibly a couple into Longbeard, just because Whirlwind will only hit one target, or if I was fighting Grimmer, it pretty much hits myself. As for the Dwalin, it's a brilliant Dwalin, and I would say it's arguably the best on our server. As you can see, it's got a fully refined unique, which I'm not particularly set on. I think Cleave is actually a better weapon on the Axe of Kaz of Doom. His Drawing Plate has got Fortitude of Dwarfs. He's got Fortitude of Dwarfs on the Iron Bassinet also, and he has got a 4-star Erebor of Pride with Might of Dwarfs, which again I'm guessing he hasn't got Arid Lewin formation. As you can see, it's a pretty standard Dwalin build. Once you've got high respect, there is a lot of damage reduction in there, and his speed is 167. Mine is only 80, so he is definitely hitting first. So I'm just going to have a quick look into the battle report and you'll see where it's won and lost. And I think this is where Lethal Weapon's really important. And if it was another way around, it may not have worked out the way it has done. So, oh, and as well, I'm running the one decoy. He's also running one decoy. I've tried Sentinels, get enough for attacking. So if we just have a look into the report, you'll see where it's run and lost. And Dain hits really hard. So we'll sort of scroll forward to round 3. And like I say, this will be pretty brief, so it's just to show you really the damage you can do with Dain in particular. So Dwalin's Whirlwind, bear in mind he'll have more troops at this point than me as well from a HP point of view. Does roughly 36,000 roughly, which is fine, and he adds 5% to my damage because obviously he's hit the right troop combo, which will be my Guardians. He did get Battle Dance on that particular one. Battle Dance doesn't trigger a lot in this report. And if we go down to when I actually start hitting back, I do get the Lethal Weapon proc, which means that the Whirlwind is pretty much the start of the turn of this fight. So as you can see, my Whirlwind has pretty much done 60k damage. That's almost standard for Dain in this build and sort of the respect level I've got on the gear. He'll do circa 40 to 50 damage minimum, really, 1000 damage with that skill. And then moving into round 4, and this is where it's a big difference again. 31,000 all in from Dwalin. And from me, you shall see 41,000. The fight's already turned at this point, and again, it was a Lethal Weapon prop. So it just goes to show, like I say, it was a brief video. I will be doing a lot more videos on Dain lately. That Dain can beat a Whale Dwalin. Before the video ends, I thought I'd just show a couple more little tiny bits. So one is the sort of snapshot of the commander damage. As you can see, Dain does 320k and Dwalin only does 220. Troops have done a little bit more from Dwalin, but you'd expect that because of the unique weapon that Dwalin holds. That's pretty standard for Dain now from what I've seen of him to do sort of 260 and above generally. The best hit I've seen him do this season for me was about 397 on Mummakill, which was pretty impressive. But yeah, it's pretty standard that amount of damage in this build. There's just one skill I wanted to touch on as well, because I know people sometimes think it starts in round 6, but it actually starts in round 5, is the skill Vengeance. And as you'll see from this report, when we find it, you do about 10k damage from round 5 onwards with that skill, if I can find round 5. And it's just a great skill to have, so I've still got a couple more points I can put in that. There it is there. That's pretty much consistent every round, and it's sort of 10 or 11k. So if you think it's an extra 60k in the back end of the battle, which really, really helps against most commanders, but in particular in this battle, it has sort of won me through the day. So, like I say, I just wanted to make it a really brief video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Obviously, you know, it's obviously nice to see people come back and sort of like and subscribe and things like that. So, as always, if in doubt, always follow your nose.